Welcome to Spillin Sweet Tea, the podcast that pours out a little bit of the good happening all around us. I'm your host, Morgan Robinson, and I'm here today. I feel like I say this every single episode, and I do mean it every single episode. So let me try to think. Usually I say my favorite person, one of my favorite people. What do we say? One of my best friends. How about that? That's easier. That's a better description. Because people are like, you think everybody's your favorite. I'm like, well, they are. I love everyone. But Maria truly is one of my best friends. I am very biased. So everything she says today is going to be beautiful and perfect. And you're going to have just the best morning with her. The best show. But I'm here with Maria Belcher, who does so many things in our community, oftentimes behind the scenes. My favorite spottings of you are every time like the beautification committee is putting out the flowers downtown. And we always get like this view of you like, you know, digging in the dirt or like doing something.
Yeah.
Something that seems so small but makes our city so beautiful. And you've done that with your work with Festival. You do that with your work with the Charleston Area Alliance, and you have really knocked it out of the park with the Ruffner, which is absolutely bringing beauty and vibrancy and such a lovely space to gather for momentous occasions here in the city of Charleston. We're going to talk about that today. We're also going to talk about you taking all those skills and bringing them to Charleston City Council, so very excited about that. But really just diving into the passion that you have for community, your vibrancy for life, and everything that you do for all of us behind the scenes.
I don't even know what else to say other than maybe just crying. You've done all the work for both of us today, so thank you so much. No, it's an honor to be here, not just because of what you're building with Spillin Sweet Tea, but because I get to share it with my very best friend. So thank you for having me.
I know, I love these so much. They make me like a little bit nervous because I often forget that there is a camera right here. Like just when, like with Chris Gossess, I was just like, I was like, oh, maybe we should not put that in there. Just kidding, we didn't cut anything. Lies. Anyhow.
You just gotta leave the people wanting more.
Yeah, exactly. And we did. There's like a part 2, Spillin Sweet Tea After Dark. I feel like
okay, I love
that's
this.
what it's going to be for Chris. That's what we've said, because there were so many weird roads that we went down and then just like turned back. All right, easy question.
Okay.
What is bringing you joy right now?
Ooh. Getting into my like flower garden, like touching grass, touching the dirt. It's my favorite time of year. Things are starting to like bud and bloom. I'm particularly excited this year because this is year 3 for the perennials that we planted in our front bed. So we ripped out like boxwoods and like kind of traditional landscaping and planted a lot of native perennials. And year 3 is when you can divide them. So our garden's gonna grow like twice over.
So beautiful.
My mission is to get rid of like all the grass in our front yard and just replace it with beautiful native pollinators. So that's what I'm really pumped about right now.
I love that. I'm gonna do the like chaos bombing things for seeds in our backyard this year.
Corey bought me 2 shakers. Like they're like Parmesan cheese shakers. I want to put native wildflower seeds. We got to get on bikes or scooters or something.
Yes.
And we're just going to go to town.
I'm here for it. I'm here
Literally
for all
go
of
to
it.
town.
Literally go
Everywhere.
to town. Everywhere. You want a flower? I don't care. We're going to give
I'm
one
ready.
to you. Yeah.
We're ready.
I'm here for that. Well, yeah, because we have that, like, the slope of our backyard, and we don't mow it back there.
It'd be perfect.
I was like, I'm just going to go and, like, throw everything back there.
The bees would be so happy. They'd make your garden
That's
thrive.
what I'm, like, trying to get all these pollinators to get in there and get... So Damon is our daughter's fiance. We call him Dr. Dirt because he is pursuing a PhD in environmental microbiology. That's lovely and beautiful. You know what he does? He helps me with my garden. And the first weekend of May is going to be our garden weekend that we're planting everything. But he said, I've been praying for a bountiful harvest. And I said, I've also been praying for a bountiful harvest, because if I end up with like 2 sad cucumbers like I did last year, I'm going to be so mad.
Fair.
I'm going to riot.
You did have a really bountiful, like other crops.
Yeah, my beans were good.
You had great beans.
I had great beans.
You had us over for that salmon dinner, and that was delicious. Edith green beans.
Yes. I'm very excited. So I'm hoping bountiful harvest for everyone. Chaos gardening for the 2 of us. Very excited.
What a dream spring.
I know.
Truly.
What is a moment that has moved you over the past year, let's say?
Oh my goodness. I know that this is really recent, but it was really, really sweet. Last week we went to the unveiling of the mural at Legal Aid.
Oh, yeah.
So the premise behind that was that there were students 8 and under that submitted artwork to be like juried in and selected as one of 7 artists that were chosen. Those young artists got paired with established artists to create a monster that would be like floating in space, and that is now behind like the children's play area at Legal Aid. When they brought the kids out, all the kids were in like blindfolds, but they were like little animal blindfolded masks, and they ripped them off. And all of the kids were like, wow, that's so cool. And then there was one little boy at the very end. I believe he was partnered. I think it might have been Wes's son, and they got to work together, which was really special anyways. And he was like, look, that's my art! Just over everybody else. And he kept like trying to jump up and grab the microphone at the podium so he could like tell people about the inspiration.
This is me.
It was literally, I mean, James Yost and I are on the Public Art Commission, and we were standing in the back, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to like step even further into the back right now. Because it's just like this beautiful moment, and I'm confident that was like the pinnacle of Wes's career too, to get to be a part of this and make it with his son. And I just feel like for Jeff Pearson, our public art director, to be able to facilitate those moments like all the time. It might not be with a father and son that get to work together, but like with the Martin Luther King mural, with the pollinator mural that's going to go in off of the boulevard, like there are just so many, public art pops up. And it means a lot because it's like beautiful, and it brings people into spaces that may not normally have foot traffic, and it, you know, it's all about like placemaking and hiring artists and showing people that you can be an artist and make a living in Charleston. Yeah. But then you also like get to see those sweet moments behind the scenes, and maybe not everybody knows like that little snippet, and that was just so incredibly moving because I mean, who knows what he's going to grow up to do.
He already has a resume now.
I know, exactly.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I love that.
So I know that's not too far into the past, but it's still so fresh in my brain. I love it.
Great. Well, and I think it's great to talk about public art too, because people think it just appears as if out of nowhere, like somebody snaps their fingers and here we have a mural. So much goes into it, and Jeff Pearson is one of the hardest working men, period, but definitely in the city of Charleston, and is, I feel like, consistently and constantly advocating for more public art, advocating for our artists, working to get them, as you said, paid. I think that's a huge barrier to so many people pursuing it as a career and giving it the time that they really would like to, is that they don't think that they can make a living from it.
That's also because a lot of people ask artists to do things for exposure. That's my least favorite word in the English language.
Agreed. Yeah.
Pay your artists.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what, you know, you work with Arts Amplified. I'm on the board with Arts Amplified. That is the whole mission, is to get people paid. And, you know, we think about events like U.S. Cycling coming in and making this amazing economic impact, but it also makes an artist impact because we're paying 32 musicians and performers to provide entertainment throughout the weekend while we have all of these amazing tourists in town. And it's a beautiful system that Charleston has. And while we don't have a lot of things figured out, I feel like that is something that we're working really hard to do well.
For sure.
Succeeding.
We're very fortunate to have folks in leadership in the city that not only invest in arts orgs to produce those things, but that really understand the value of tourism.
Yes.
And what that can in turn do for your city.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Thinking about advice, what is some of the best advice you've ever received?
When I first saw this, my mom had this magnet on her fridge when she first moved to Charleston. She got it at Taylor Books. She was like in there getting a tea. And it said, do one thing every day that scares you. Ooh. And I remember looking at that and remarking on it whenever we were moving her in to her new place downtown. And I remember looking at her and just thinking, like, why on earth would you, like, what is this? I'm like 22. Do one thing every day that scares you. What does that even mean? Right. Why would you want to do that to yourself? I had like this comfortable, like little neat and tidy life with a trajectory that I was like, I went to college for interior design and I had an interior design job and I was like back in Charleston and doing all these things like check, neat, tidy box. Yep. And I was like, why on earth would you do things that scare you? Fast forward, it's like I do love doing things all the time that scare me, like get you out of your comfort zone because that's where really cool stuff happens.
Yeah, it's like chaos gardening for your life.
Exactly. That's a really...
You just throw something out, you see what grows. And it usually turns out to be really beautiful.
Yeah. And she told me that then, but I was like, that's nonsense.
That's nonsense. I don't believe you.
But, you know, now with age and wisdom, like, obviously, like, you look back and you're like, God, my mom was right about everything.
Your mom really was right about everything, though. Like, she has so many good little nuggets.
Seriously.
No, it's true, though. And I think, yeah, people ask me all the time, what's something, if you could give advice to your, teenage self, or take more risks, do those things that push you out of your comfort zone, because I was very similar. I was like, well, here's my list of things that I need to do to be a successful adult,
Yes.
and I'm going to go through them and I'm going to check them off. And until you start playing and coloring outside of the lines, you're not actually experiencing what life is all about.
Exactly.
Nailed it. So the beautiful city of St. Albans is your hometown.
Yes.
I'm a hater on St. Albans, guys.
Wait, why? I'm just now learning this also.
well, as Ben says, like, we live in the Cross Lanes Niger area, so he's like, oh, I'm supposed to hate them, whatever.
That's fair.
I just feel like it's so far away from everything.
It does have the distinct disadvantage of, like, any exit that actually says St. Albans, it's like another 15 minutes to actually, like, get to St. Albans.
Yes.
So that part is not ideal.
That's the only part that I dislike. So I'm actually not a hater, but it feels like it just is an act of Congress to get over there to do anything.
You're not wrong.
But you had a good St. Albans experience.
I did. I love growing up in St. Albans.
If you could bottle up a little piece of that, what would you share with people?
Gosh. Well, I think there are a couple things, and I don't know that I really realized it until I was older. We didn't actually come into Charleston that much growing up.
That is so surprising.
I think that it was because we had local places in St. Albans. Like, we had the cafe.
So delicious.
We had Shuckers.
Also.
Like, the Curiosity Shop was this really cute place on Old Main Plaza, where I shopped for, like, cute gifts, and they were, like, the first people that I knew of that, like, had Vera Bradley, and that was, like, huge when I was in high school.
Huge, yeah.
And I think that when you maybe do have that much distance between you and an interstate, Mayberry's, that was another really big place growing up. Like, really just great locally owned small businesses. And I didn't realize that there were that many of them until I got older. I'm like, wait a minute, not everybody has
this is not normal.
this. That seems so strange.
Yeah.
But I was really fortunate to grow up in a place like that, and I think that's kind of what demystified small business ownership. It wasn't just like growing up around an entrepreneur with my mom in the house, but it was also like, that's where we shopped, that's where we ate.
Yeah.
And I think, like, 10-year-old Maria didn't know any different.
Yeah.
But we weren't going to, like, Red Lobster and Olive Garden and stuff like that. We were staying in St. Albans to eat La Roby's Pizza. Gotta give that a shout out.
I feel like,
there are so many good places.
There are so many good places. Well, and I feel like St. Albans, look at me now, I'm going to be a cheerleader for it. It has a true Main Street.
Yeah.
And that is something that is hard to find in a lot of places, but is beautiful. I mean, the Alban Theater down there, that and the Brookhaven pizzas at the cafe are so freaking delicious. I'm thinking about one for dinner now. No, but no, it is true. It's very quaint.
Yeah,
I would say.
And I think that there are still young entrepreneurs, and there are still lots of great local businesses there. The tote bag that I'm carrying today, that's from Hippie's daughter. She now has a brick and mortar in St. Albans.
So good.
Love her work.
Yes.
She donated that and then a custom sweatshirt to Feast of All.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, I hovered over it. As soon as somebody else put their name on the sheet, I was like, I must have this immediately. And I love that it's still nurturing young artists and encouraging folks to, take risks.
Very, very cool. Yes. Or as Zach Harold would say, you have a lot of hills you would die on. I didn't realize how many hills he was going to die on until I watched that interview again. I was like, I love his passion. Passion for Appalachia, passion for the arts, love it all. But what is something that you are unapologetically passionate about?
Oof. We've talked about a couple of those things already. Paying artists, huge.
Yeah.
Buying local, huge. The festival, Capitol Street Art Fair, is like my favorite time of year. It's like penultimate Maria weekend.
Yeah.
I love buying a new coffee mug from a different potter there every year, because who doesn't love, like, waking up and you get to have tea or coffee or whatever, like, with Julie Wingard, and then tomorrow maybe I'll have it with Megan Ferguson, and just like knowing the people that make the things that you enjoy and can use in your everyday life, like, that's just super special. My mom made the earrings that I'm wearing today.
Yeah.
I love to wear her stuff, so I can carry like a piece of her with me, like handmade. That is also a hill that I will die on every single day.
Yeah.
The chopped cheese sandwich at Food in Town.
I have not been yet.
I had it for the first time over this weekend, and it is truly, pat myself on the back a million times for not having had it every single day since then, because it is the best sandwich in Charleston.
The chopped cheese.
Chopped cheese. I don't know if you've heard of this. It's it's not a Philly thing, because it's like a Philly cheesesteak, but it's hamburger instead.
Oh, okay.
I know that this sounds
Game changer.
insane, but
No, I'm
that
here
is
for
also
it.
a hill I will die on, because I'm not going to say that Jens isn't like my favorite sandwich, full stop.
Right.
But in the city of Charleston, the chopped cheese from Food in Town, I am unapologetically passionate about that sandwich.
I'm very excited about adding that to my list this week to try.
You really have to.
Oh, delish. Delish.
Delish.
If your life had a soundtrack, what song would be playing right now, and is it Broadway?
I mean, you're going to take the words right out of my mouth. If it was Broadway, I don't know. Broadway's so like dramatic and most of the time sad. I feel like
No, you can choose any song.
I don't know
Doesn't have
what
to be Broadway.
song I would pick, but I have been listening to an awful lot of Beyonce because she transcends all moods.
Yes.
Like feeling feisty, Lemonade. Feeling celebratory, Renaissance.
Yeah.
Like I've been listening to a lot of Beyonce to like hype myself up and put myself in like different states of mind depending
Yes.
on what hat I'm
What hat you're
wearing.
wearing.
Like
Okay.
campaigning,
Yeah.
the Ruffner, cleaning bathrooms, like
Which is the Ruffner.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what's so funny? So everybody has such great songs. I've actually come up with an idea that I think I'm going to do a Spillin Sweet Tea soundtrack at the end of the year with everybody's, because it's so much good like hype music too.
that's really so good.
I need to do it because
You have to have Chris Gossett back whenever Madonna releases her new
Oh
album.
my gosh, we need.
He'll
3
never
hours.
stop talking about it,
No,
though.
no. We need 3 hours. That is the uncut. Maybe that one's the after dark too, so he can just like go full in.
Like deep dive.
Deep dive.
Yeah.
We can do it when he is Mandonna too.
Yes.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Perfect.
So we talked about some of our regular questions. Now we're going to dive in a little bit more personal questions, but not really personal. The Ruffner, if you have not been to the Ruffner, please do yourself a favor and book a tour. Go to an event that they're having there. The Ruffner is such a beautiful piece of Charleston, and you have breathed new life into it. Of course, not just you, our friends Nikki, Drew, and our little muffin, Corey. You guys have all done such a fabulous job. What does it mean to be part of that continuous, like, sort of growth and regeneration of Charleston?
It's honestly probably one of the most meaningful things that I've ever done and been a part of. Like even last night, so Nikki's family owns a greenhouse in Elkins. So we went up to Crazy Harry's yesterday, got a bunch of plants, and we were out there until like really late yesterday evening planting things. And it was a beautiful evening on the East End. So of course everybody's out walking. You get to meet tons of dogs, which is the best part about yard work out there. But there are so many people that stopped that are either like East Enders themselves or they like park and walk the boulevard. And even still, like more than a year and a half into this, there are people that will stop and talk to us and say like, thank you so much for investing in this property.
I love that.
You've completely changed this section of town, or like we just really appreciate seeing young folks making this kind of an investment in the city of Charleston. We've booked brunches on the sidewalk from folks. It's really cool. And it means a lot that folks see what we're building and are also really interested in not just supporting it because they know us and they love us, but that we have folks from out of town that want to stay and make, beautiful memories at the Ruffner. There are folks that are in town that want to hold special family occasions, or who knows? We've hosted like everything, every kind of event on the spectrum. I feel
You
like
really
at this
have,
point.
yeah. Well, and that's not on my list, but that is something that I always think about. So when I see photos from the events, whether you've posted them or somebody that we know, I just saw pictures from a murder mystery birthday party.
Yeah.
But I just think how cool it is to be sort of the orchestrators of these momentous, memorable occasions. Weddings, baby showers, bridal showers, proposals. I mean, literally all of these milestones, to house them, but then also to be kind of a fly on the wall.
For sure, yeah,
How
because like we
exciting
get to
is
help
that?
people plan it, and then oftentimes like we're the ones working it in the background, so we get to see it to fruition and get to enjoy people enjoying the space.
Yeah.
Like even today, I ran into somebody whose daughter had her bridal shower at the Ruffner, and she was like, every time we drive past it, I just feel like this connection to the house because of that weekend that we got to spend there.
Yeah.
And she's like, my daughter asks me all the time, like, send me the next link for when they're going to do something.
Oh, wonderful.
And I just feel like, I know that people say those types of things to be nice, but you can also tell when someone says
when
it and
they're
it's genuine. And I feel like we get a lot of genuine responses from people, or like unsolicited comments, which mean a lot too. So it's just really beautiful.
So what is coming up? You have Wellness Weekend, but it's sold out.
We have 2 more slots for Wellness Weekend.
Okay.
So it's not quite sold out, but we're really excited about that one. That's May 1st through 3rd.
Beautiful.
And then we're doing Mother's Day brunch the following weekend on both Saturday and Sunday.
Nice. Brunch both days? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Brunch both days, because you got to thread the needle between the East End Yard Sale and Foam at the Dome on Saturday.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
on the
wake up
night.
early, get a lot of shopping, and then refuel, put a good base down before you go to Foam at the Dome.
The perfect Saturday in
exactly.
Charleston. Oh my gosh.
Seriously.
Praying for good weather. It's going to be beautiful. As a small business owner, you really see like how these opportunities and challenges impact the city. How have those experiences in your personal, watching your mom, your husband, all of these small business owners, how have they influenced your decision to run for city council?
I mean, that is a major part of why I decided to run. I think that there are a lot of resources in place already for small business owners, startups, and existing to get connected with in the city. But I think that a lot of people don't necessarily understand maybe the order in which things have to happen, or they get caught off guard by something like a year into operations, or maybe there's a hiccup between like when they want to operate and when they want to open up their brick and mortar.
Yeah.
And I think that to have somebody in the neighborhood that they know that they can call to say like, I don't know who to even call, but I know that you're my city council person. Who do I get in touch with? If it's putting them directly in touch with the city collector's office, like knowing exactly who to call there. Is it talking to Audrey Kahn, the small business liaison? Is it talking to somebody like Urban Works or the Alliance instead? I'm kind of ingrained in a lot of these different community and economic development organizations and resources. So I think that is a major, I want to knowledge share, because a rising tide raises all ships. I firmly believe that. There will never be a day where I don't believe that. And I want people to replicate, maybe not the exact business model of the Ruffner, but I want people to be able to have as low a barrier as possible into small business ownership. Yeah. And I don't think that I'm the answer to that, but I want to be a part of helping.
Yeah, I love it, because when I think about small business, so much of it is I know a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is, because you aren't reinventing the wheel, but it's such a unknown for people. As a small business owner myself, it's so nice to be oh, I know a guy that can help with that. Yeah. And even if you, like you said, even if you're not actually giving the solution, you're giving the bridge to solving that problem or issue, accepting that challenge. Because it's tough, and you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. And sometimes you don't even know the questions to ask that show that you don't know what you don't know. Yeah. I mean, right after we opened the Ruffner, Audrey, that I just talked about, she called us because there was somebody that wanted to turn a place in a historic district into a different kind of use. And we went through the process of changing city code in order to allow the Ruffner to exist. Right. There was a really strict list of businesses types that property in the historic district, anywhere, not just the East End, anywhere in the city of Charleston could be. So we worked with city planning to expand code to include things like event venues, bed and breakfasts, and things like that. And there was somebody that was looking at a historic property, and before they closed on that property, they wanted to talk to somebody who had been through that process and to know what's allowable, what's not, what sort of code do I have to adhere to. And that's, Corey's specialty. As an interior designer, he knows a lot about those types of things. So I think we had a lot of the resources at our fingertips to be able to know who to ask, but we might not be the case. We might not everybody's going to have those same kinds of resources. So if I'm a published contact person for the city of Charleston, that's my hope, is to be able to connect folks with answers and resources.
Yeah, because I think so many people will see an empty space and think, I have a business idea, I'm going to put it in there, and they don't realize all of the hoops and the challenges and the codes and the policies and the insurance and the liabilities.
Because all of those things exist for a reason. Yeah. They might be frustrating when you're going through all of them. But, there are rules and restrictions and policies and procedures that are in place for a reason. Yeah. And if they, if you can make a good enough case, if you have a solid business plan, we helped get city code changed because that was going to be an allowable existence for a historic property. But that took a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of knowing who to call.
If you know who to call, you know who to guide you. I think that's 90% of the battle. Yeah.
Exactly.
When you think about the future of Charleston, what excites you the most? So as you're thinking, I would say, I keep saying, and I've said this several times, y'all have heard me, we are on the cusp. Like, we're doing some really cool things right now, but we are on the cusp of, like, becoming a thing. Like, really becoming, like, leaning in to our art scene, our small businesses, the curated experiences that we're providing for people when they come in. I feel like we are at such a beautiful crossroads. But I'm interested, what excites you about some of those things?
Gosh, I mean, I think that we have so much momentum for quality of life offerings in the city of Charleston. Like relatively affordable cost of living. We have lots of really great events that we're producing internally, but also that, our CVB and our city is bringing in to attract folks on a national and international scale. I might be a little like Pollyanna about this, but I feel like in the next few years, I don't know that it's outrageous to say that I would think like we would stop seeing population loss.
I agree. Yeah. And I'm okay to be Pollyanna about that. Like, optimism is not a bad thing. I am optimistic that if we continue down this path and we continue to put these tools into place to create a better place to live, learn, work, and play. Yeah. If we build it, people will come.
Right. Or stay.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to see maybe the drain on of like youth, like young talent leaving immediately. Go to school somewhere else if you don't have a major that fits in the state of West Virginia, or if you have a dream of going to a different school, but then bring that talent back. Yeah. There's lots of really wonderful things to do here. But more than that, you can come and be a part of building something too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, and with the Ascend program, we now have Ascend in Charleston.
Exactly.
Really giving people a taste of what it's like to be here. I mean, I feel like they're going to share with their networks. I do. I'm fully fine. Like, call me Pollyanna. I'm fully fine with it.
Same.
Because I would rather be optimistic and be looking for solutions than just talking about the things that are wrong with the area. And, that's one of the things I love about this program, because I feel like we've heard from so many people that do have this like positive enthusiasm for what we're doing as a city and as a state. And, maybe they're a part of it, maybe they're on the outskirts of it, but we're all kind of pushing toward the right thing. Yeah. And that momentum is a huge part of the battle, getting the buy-in.
Exactly.
I love that. Well, now we are going to pour one out. So in our friend group, we always say give each other our flowers, which we do on every birthday. And it is my favorite thing in the world and Amber Yost's least favorite thing, which is why we have to like write hers down. But who would you like to pour one out for? Give a little gratitude, show appreciation.
I thought a lot about this, and I think that I would really like to give metaphorical flowers to people that are like literally putting flowers out there. The Municipal Beautification Commission is a group totally comprised of volunteers. There's 12 of them appointed by the mayor and like ratified by city council. They are the most active volunteer committee I think I have ever witnessed in my entire life. They have like 20 subcommittees.
Oh my gosh.
They always have quorum.
Yeah, which is like nearly impossible.
But they're not just showing up, they're doing the work. In those subcommittees, like if you've noticed the hanging baskets looking really tremendous, it's because they're spending a lot of time being very thoughtful about the types of flowers, how frequently or infrequently they need attention. It's really setting like city services up for success because they're the ones that do the maintenance.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing the Appalachian Spring Project, which is planting 1,000 trees in the city of Charleston between last year and the end of 2027.
Oh, my gosh.
They've already planted 30. It's going to be 1,000 different types of like flowering trees throughout the city.
It's super cool.
We are now Tree City USA, which makes us eligible for certain types of federal funding that we didn't have access to before. And all of the special projects like the Living Wall at Slack Plaza, different planters throughout the city. They're talking about all kinds of really exciting projects coming up. And they're all volunteers. Yeah. It's just so incredible. And that's also what I love so much about living in Charleston. because one of my other favorite groups is Pride.
Yeah.
Also all volunteers.
All volunteers.
And they make incredible things happen.
Yes.
So I just want to give both of those groups their flowers.
Literally flowers. Yeah. I love that so much. Well, and I love that you really stress the importance that they're volunteers, because I see so many people who are like, why are we spending money on this? You know what? You would be complaining if we didn't have it.
Yeah.
And
some of that's city money, but they're also raising private dollars.
Exactly.
Truly, like, the best projects that have happened in the city of Charleston have been leveraged with both private and public dollars. Slack Plaza and, like, Fife, the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation building.
Beautiful,
like, that is such a really great example of what happens when all of these people came to the table. They're like, okay, if we're going to make this investment, we're going to do it all together, and that's when it's going to be successful. NBC's doing that too, and I think, like, that's where a lot of opportunity lies, because you can't just rely on, you know, your city to do all of those things for you. That's not entirely their role.
Right.
But if you have a really great idea, like, guess what? Congratulations, you're on the committee. Let's go make it happen.
Let's go make it happen. Yes. I say that all the time. I'm not going to give you an idea without giving you the resources to make it happen.
Exactly.
Whether they're my own, or if I can, like, recommend someone else that I think would be a good fit. I just did this at an etiquette dinner at a college the other week. I was like, this was really lovely, but here's how you can make it better. And I volunteer to, like, help you to get these pieces, because it's one thing to just sit back and either complain or comment, and it's another to be proactive in making that difference.
Yeah.
I had never even heard of municipal.
Yeah.
What little unsung hero.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Well, now we're moving into the sip list. So a little bit quicker questions.
I'm ready.
You ready? Tea,
Maybe.
hot or iced?
Hot.
Hot. Okay. A specific kind that's your favorite?
I love pomegranate green tea.
Ooh, pomegranate green tea.
That's my favorite for sure.
Nice.
Hot, no extra sweetener, just like as it is.
Okay. All right. What are you reading or listening to?
I am always listening to Amy Poehler's podcast.
Yes. Good hang.
That's something that I'm doing all the time.
Yeah. So good. What was her most recent, like, the guest that I heard most recently?
Brandi Carlile.
Brandi Carlile.
I mean, queen.
Yes. I'm going to go on the, like, girls just want to have fun weekend trip one year.
Bucket list.
Like,
It's on my bucket.
It is on my bucket list. Yes, absolutely.
It's going to go on our shared document.
Yeah. Our shared bucket list. I would love that. So she is such a queen.
Seriously.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing. What are you grateful for?
This is going to sound so cheesy because I'm, like, sitting here with you, but truly, I'm so grateful for, like, girlhood and girl friendships.
Yes.
This is another hill that I will die on. There is nothing more important than female friendships.
I fully agree with that. I will be dead on that hill with you. Like, well, and growing up, my mom did not have female friends, and that was one of the things that she always stressed to me was how important it was that I did.
Yeah.
And when she would look at y'all, and she'd be like, "I'm just so thankful for these girls. I'm so thankful for these amazing women, because men are fabulous, and we love our men, and we love our husbands and our besties and all the things. But there's something about having that shared experience together." That you can't replicate.
Yeah.
And we're very fortunate. You know, I talked to Melanie Palario as well when she talked about her friend group, and I think it's something that you have to curate and you have to cultivate and you have to work, and that's what makes it so important.
And we're also never afraid of putting work and effort into things. So I think, like, nurturing female friendships is, like, some very meaningful work.
Well, and, like, our version, I think, of nurturing is, like, sending very weird, like, memes, gifts, videos on Instagram at 3 o'clock in the morning and being like, who else is
Team
awake?
No Sleep.
Team No Sleep. Who else is ADHD is, like, kicked in right now? Who had a Celsius
Might be drinking
at 6
too much
p.m.?
caffeinated tea. I don't know.
My Celsius from 6 p.m. kicked in at midnight. I'm ready. No, I agree. I'm very grateful for y'all as well. What are you watching right now?
Not watching a whole lot of TV right now, but on Thursday nights, my butt is on my couch and I'm watching The Pit.
The Pit, yes.
That show has me in a chokehold.
Noah Wiley has guided me through my life.
Oh my gosh.
And I've told you this, but I started, watching The Pit. I started watching ER again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I loved you when I was 12 and I love you now.
Thank you for aging with me.
Yes.
Yeah, truly.
So beautifully. But The Pit is so good, and they handle so many relevant and tough, sensitive situations so well.
They do. It is... I don't know that I have ever seen a TV show, maybe some movies, but I don't know that I've ever seen a TV show capture like humanity so incredibly well.
Yes.
Difficult situations and not shying away from it, but also not making it feel dramatic. Like, I don't know if you noticed this, but I didn't notice it until Noah said it in an interview. There's no background music.
Oh my God.
In that entire show. So it's not like Law and Order.
Yeah.
Where something dramatic happens and it's like, dun, dun. They're just letting it be what it is. And it's people showing up at their best, people showing up at their worst. And having like a community of coworkers and like grateful patients like around them to like lift them up. And when people are having like the worst day of their lives, it shows, what truly what a healthcare worker has to go through and the things that they have to shelve that are going on in their personal lives. Like all things that that happen in a normal hospital setting, but that you get this like beautifully raw look into, and I just I can't get enough of it. I love good storytellers.
Yes. I will be so sad when the season ends.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's so good, but that's why I have my ER.
Yeah.
Which has very like 90s
lots of music in the background.
As soon as you thought, I was like, oh my gosh, ER made up for it. There's so much music. Oh, crazy. Who would you like to spill tea with?
I mean, I would say that I wish I could have been at the table with Amy Poehler and Brandi Carlile. I can't think of two other people I would rather like spill tea with.
I would just be laying under a corpse under the table.
Seriously.
Like, I don't even know what I would be able to contribute.
Or Amy Poehler and Jonathan Groff. That episode was also very delightful.
So good.
And Jonathan would have the Broadway tea that I really, really need. So I can't do that to my girl Brandi, but it might be Jonathan.
Okay.
It's a tough call.
It's a tough call.
Coin flip.
Amy Poehler is living everyone's best life
Truly.
right now. Like, best idea ever for her to have a podcast. We are all better for it. We're all grateful for it. So good. This question is for me. Whew. So we are passing the cup. So Marie gets to ask me a question that I have no idea. We did not talk about this, so I have no idea what it is. Do you have a question for me?
I do. So I think I know the answer to this question.
I was like,
sometimes.
what really do you have? Yeah.
I know, like, what question am I going to really throw at you? But I think that what other people could benefit from, you also wear a lot of hats. You're a very busy person. You give of yourself to a lot of people that you love, that you volunteer for, clients, you name it. What is like your routine when you need to do like a reset for yourself?
Sleep.
Pretty basic. You heard it here, folks.
You heard it here first.
Very good.
I mean,
I should have come up with a better question.
Yeah. No, it's funny though because like Ben Robinson, who's sitting behind the camera as usual, he like will say if I'm sick and need to get better, if I'm sad and need to reset, if I'm exhausted and hitting my head against a wall, any of those things, the first part of my process has to start with sleep. I don't know what it is, but like literally turning my brain kind of, I know it's not like I'm having my anxiety dreams while I'm in there, but like doing a huge in the dark sound machine on, covers up, like cold, like full sleep. Is how I have to start.
Reset.
Yeah, I just can't. It's weird. It's like I cannot change my frame of mind without like
a literal reset.
Flipping it off and on. Yeah. I'm basically every IT guy's dream because it's like.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Literally.
I'll ask Ben that every time. He's like, oh my gosh, Morgan's really in it today.
Morgan. Like, have you tried turning her off and turning her? Yeah. I mean, it is. And I think like beyond that, it is prioritizing and, all of those things. But honestly, it's sleep. And I really feel like everybody would be better off if they did just remove themselves from a situation, especially if you're like spiraling. And that's what I find myself doing. I'll spiral and then something that was a molehill becomes a mountain. And I realize that even though taking 2 hours is probably not something that I would recommend to someone else, I need to do it. Yeah. And I need to just like walk away and turn it off and turn it back on. Yeah.
So I asked somebody else this question the other day.
Their answer was probably so much better.
No, but it had a component of sleep. Okay. So it was like, if I'm feeling upset, I need to sleep. if I'm feeling angry, I need to eat.
Oh, okay.
And then I can't remember what the third thing was that they said if they were like feeling as one specific way, maybe like anxious or like overwhelmed or something, they were like, I go outside.
Oh, yeah.
So there was like a threefold approach. I'm like, that's a lot of things to remember.
A lot of things to
a lot
remember.
of self-awareness
Yeah,
that has to
yeah.
happen.
You have to like
for you
really
to be
get
like,
into yourself.
I gotta touch grass.
Yeah.
I need to eat something. I need to drink water.
I always need to drink
There's
water.
like different forms of self-care.
I'm a little prune. Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, I mean, I think it makes sense. And yeah, I get some of that. And I think like if I was being conscious about it, I would say if I was really anxious, maybe like doing a workout or walking the dogs around or something like that. But it would still start with sleep.
Yeah.
Everything starts with sleep. This show is sponsored by Napsies.
I really should have spent more time doing homework because I needed to have a better question.
No, that was good. I think everybody needs to know just how much I snooze. Because people are like, oh, do you sleep? I'm like, yeah, that's like the thing I do most. I love sleeping. It's the best. All right. Well, that brings us to our last sip. We're already there. And this one I chose especially for you. So sometimes I just like put a random one in, but this one I put thought into. So my last tip today that I found was someone once told me to find a best friend that I could suffer with. And I thought, that sounds pretty dang sad. Then life happened and I finally understood what it meant. Friendship is not just who eats lunch with you, who grabs a coffee with you. It's who holds you when you're drowning and stays to help you build something out of that mess. This is the kind of person who does not just make your life better, they help you survive it. And that's what you mean. I love you so much. But it's true. And I think, when we talk about best friends, especially when we're like, little girls and girlhood, who are we celebrating with? Who are we doing this with? No, your best friend is who you're in the trenches, crying at the end of the day, and you realize that even if your mascara is running, James, yes, that they're going to still know how beautiful you are.
Absolutely. I feel like we say that in the girl group chat all the time too.
Yeah.
Like, don't apologize. Friendship is for even more so the hard times than the good times. It's easy to be a good friend to somebody when it's the good times.
Right.
When people really show up for you and it's like the literal worst day of your life, like that's
yeah.
That's how you know who your people are.
Yeah, and being able to like look back on that, having friendships that are like a decade long and saying like we've survived these things because of each other, not just together, but because of each other. I think that's so important. So I hope that everyone is cultivating a friendship like that, because when there's nothing else and you feel like you have nothing and no one else, that person can drag you out of that hole. And we're very lucky to have several people like that in our lives. I also had this thought the other day of like, saying I say I love you so much, because as you all know, I always say love is not a limited commodity. Like we give it out. So I tell everybody I love them. But I heard twice in one weekend, I wish you were here, or I wish you had been here. And I thought, oh my gosh, that almost means even more to me than I love you, because it's someone who, when you're not present, is thinking of you and thinking this experience, could be better or different or, more full if you were here with me. And I thought, we need to start saying that. When we think of someone and we wish that they were there, sending them a message, whether they're local and just doesn't happen to be in the room, or if they're states away, and saying, you know what, I wish you were here. Yeah. And it's just, it doesn't have to be sad. I think it's just like the purest form of love. For sure.
I just sent a text to like a family member that I haven't talked to in a couple weeks, and something popped up in a song that made me think of them. And I was like, hey, XYZ just made me think of you. Like, when you get off of work today, call me.
Yeah.
I love getting messages like that, so I'm trying to be a lot more intentional of like giving those moments to other people, because I know how much it means to me. Yeah. And I think like building and again like nurturing those kinds of things, it's like it's very powerful.
Yeah, and we hear like
show the people that you love them.
All the time. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Oh. Well, we could talk for days, and we probably will. I'll talk to you in 5 minutes after this. I love seeing how invested you are in this community and being part of that journey and watching you nurture literally seeds, not only physical seeds, but seeds of really potential and possibility and prospects here in Charleston. And I'm so excited for your journey as a city councilwoman.
Thank you.
If someone would like to learn more about your platforms, what you want to accomplish, what you're excited about, how can they do that? You have an event coming up, I think.
Yeah, we have an event coming up this Thursday. Come hang out with me at 5th Street Brewing on Thursday from 4 to 6. The wonderful folks there are sponsoring like a kind of meet and greet the candidate happy hour. So enjoy some nosh on them. And I'd love to come out and say hi, answer any questions that you have, get to know you a little bit more, for you to get to know me a little bit more. So come and check me out on Thursday. And you can also visit my website, mariabelcher4citycouncil.com.
Beautiful. Well, if you enjoyed today's show, if you took something from it, maybe you laughed a little bit with us, we hope you will give us a like and a subscribe so you come back and join next time. We are producing every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m., throwing out content for you to get ready to and have your tea in the morning, which I love, being able to experience that with y'all. Until next time, keep your tea sweet and your outlook sweeter.